everybody, what is going on? This is Anthony with the VR Game Rankings YouTube show, and of course, this is the daily vlog series, and you know what? This is episode 109. It is March 1st, and I've got an apology again, folks. This is going to be one of our shortest episodes, and this is kind of what I would consider to be a throwaway episode. Now, what is a throwaway episode? A throwaway episode is basically where you're in a situation where you're almost not even going to have an episode, but you don't want to have you don't want to have no episode whatsoever. So you kind of want to put together a quick little throwaway episode, and that's what we're talking about here for episode 109. Now, why is it a throwaway episode? Well, there's a number of reasons. Number one, my internet service has been out. It went out last night. I got a hold of AT&T Uverse. The guy just left my house just recently, and so my internet service is finally back up and running. But today has been a very chaotic day. No internet access and dealing with AT&T Uverse, coming over, waiting for the guy to come over, and just a lot of little miscellaneous stuff, right? Well, I normally record these shows at about 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. Right now, it is 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. So we're talking about a 3-hour swing from when I normally record these shows. So I am way behind, don't have a lot of time for editing, don't have a lot of time for hardly anything, to be honest. So, but I still wanted to throw an episode up and just have some kind of episode. So I just want you guys to understand it was either this or no episode whatsoever. And I kind of feel like this is better than having no episode whatsoever. So anyway, I only have a very small handful of stories to get into, and that's basically going to be it. And tomorrow's episode on Friday should be back to a normal episode. Now, there is one little bit of good news, or bright, there is a little bit of a good news situation going on here. I've upgraded my internet service where I'm going to have a faster upload, so hopefully future episodes won't take me as long to upload them to YouTube, and they will show up a little bit faster. So that is the good news with this whole thing, but that's not going to really start until tomorrow. Okay, so what is the first story of the day? Well, I have to say that earlier today I was looking at the news stories, using my phone to kind of see what kind of news stories are out there, and it's slim pickings. I don't think there's very big news stories today. I didn't really see anything on Road to VR that really piqued my interest. I didn't see anything on Upload VR that really piqued my interest either. I didn't see much of anything on the subreddits. So it's a very light news day. And one of the things that I was doing is I started thinking, well, you know what? Maybe I could have a completely different show, and I could spend today's episode talking about the best VR games of 2018 so far. And so I was trying to do some searches, and I was looking for, I went to the PlayStation Store and found out all the games that have come out in 2018. I went to Steam and found all the games that have come out in 2018. But I was trying to figure out what Oculus games have come out in January and February. And so I was doing a Google search where I simply did a Google search for best Oculus games February 2018. And when I went ahead and did this Google search, I was surprised to see that one of the highest results was VR Game Rankings, the website VR Game Rankings. In fact, we were the second result that popped up, and we don't have a page that is about the best games of February 2018. I've barely even worked on that website in the last 2 months. I've barely even touched it. And what popped up was the 20 most wanted Oculus Rift games. It popped up there real high. And so why am I bringing all of this up? I'm bringing all of this up because after seeing it, it kind of made me think, man, what am I doing? Why am I doing this YouTube show? Why am I wasting my time with this YouTube show when I probably should be working on this website? Maybe this website has a better chance of of making something happen than this YouTube show. But the thing is, I love this YouTube show. I've kind of fallen in love with doing this YouTube show. It's not even work for me. I actually enjoy doing this. I have to spend a number of hours and editing the audio and editing the video. You know, it's a bit of a time sink, but I really enjoy it. And you always hear these people that say, you know, don't worry about money, just do what you love and money will take care of everything else. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll try it. I'm going to do what I love. I like doing these daily VR gaming news shows, and I'm just going to keep doing this. And I've kind of let the website fall off into the mist. Now, you guys might remember, I don't know if it was a month ago or however long ago it was, that I had an episode where I kind of was asking for help. And I was kind of asking if there were any writers out there that wanted to help me out and wanted to work with VR game rankings on the website and kind of make this website survive and maybe be a part of this website. And I did actually get a pretty decent response. I had a number of people that contacted me and a number of people that have helped me with some different things. In fact, we even had a guy that did volunteer to kind of be a part of the website. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. He only worked with the website for basically about a week and a half, and then basically he basically just wasn't we kind of had a falling out in terms of like the concept of what we were going for, and so he kind of backed out, didn't want to be a participator anymore. So I haven't had anybody working on this website at all, and I feel like I'm making a major mistake by letting this website die, especially after just doing this random Google search and seeing VR game rankings pop up as the second result for something that was totally unrelated. So it seems like the Google search engine thing is starting to pay off a little bit for VR game rankings. And so now I'm thinking, man, I need to get back to working on this website. Now, don't worry, I'm not quitting this show. This show is not going anywhere. I think this show is going to remain for the long haul. I have no plans to stop doing this show, so don't worry about that. But what I am doing is I want to ask again, is there anybody out there that has always been interested in being a video game journalist and you're really into VR gaming and you kind of want to dip your toes in the game journalism waters? Well, if you do want to do that, now, I don't have any money, okay? I don't have any money to pay anybody, but you can earn valuable experience. And if you really buy into the concept, if you're 100% into it and you really show me over a period of time that you're into it, I have no problem with sharing a percentage of ownership of the website VR Game Rankings. I'd love to do that. And so I'm asking for writers, anybody that would like to be a video game journalist and write articles. If you're really into PlayStation VR and you want to write about that, if you're really into the Oculus Rift or the HTC Vive, we need some help. So once again, I'm going to send this request out there. You can go ahead and contact me by email, info@vrgamerankings.com. Just shoot me an email. We can talk on Skype about it and, we can hash it out and maybe we can work something out, because you know what? The Google search engine results are not that bad. We are showing up in legitimate Google search engine results. And I just think it's it's a missed opportunity to let this thing die and not do anything with it. So I'm hoping that maybe once again, that somebody out there will see this, somebody that really wants to break into the gaming industry and be a writer and help update all the different rankings that we have there, update game profile pages, and also write individual articles and work with the website system that we're currently using. But basically, once again, info@vrgamerankings.com. Okay, now as far as news stories go, I just have a couple quick hitter news stories. Okay, the original Oculus bundle is on a really good sale in Germany. Now, we're always reporting on everything from a USA perspective, and I kind of apologize for that. I mean, obviously, I am in the USA, and so I tend to think with a USA-centric focus, but this is a worldwide phenomena. I know I have people that are watching this in the UK. I know I have people in other parts of Europe that are watching this. In fact, I had a guy that said that he's in Sweden and he watches this every morning with his cup of coffee, which I think is absolutely awesome. Like, I never thought ever that somebody would be watching some dumb show that I make every morning in Sweden while they sip their coffee. I mean, how freaking awesome is that? So I know there's a lot of people around the world that actually see this show, and it's not just a USA thing. So I want to let you guys know that MediaMarkt has the original Oculus Rift for 269. Now, I'm not sure if it's euros or if it's German marks or what exactly this currency is. I'm guessing it's euros, 269 euros. But translated to US dollars, it's about $327. Now, this is the original Oculus Rift bundle that does not include the touch controllers, and it comes with the Xbox controller and it comes with the little remote. So this does not include touch controllers. So you have to be aware of that. And it's also very limited supply because this is the old bundle. So they're just kind of selling out of their remaining supply. But if you're in Germany and you've been looking for a deal on an Oculus Rift, this could be a possibility. Now, another quick little sale that I wanted to mention is if you're in the UK. I know I have quite a few UK listeners. And so if you're in the UK and you've been interested in buying a PlayStation VR, there's actually a really good deal for the PlayStation VR. And this is the new version of the PlayStation VR. This is not the old version, it's the new version. Now, the new version doesn't have a lot that's different with it, but it does have some improvements, especially from the standpoint of the cabling that comes out of the back of it. One of the problems with the original version of PSVR is the cabling is such that there's kind of this heavy weight at a certain point that's kind of dangling and pulling on you, and the new version does not have that problem. The new version also doesn't have the high dynamic range problem. So if you have a high-end 4K TV with high dynamic range, you don't have to worry about any problems with that as well. So you get the new version of PSVR, but you also get Super Hot included with it. You get Resident Evil 7 included with it, and you get a digital code for PlayStation VR Worlds. Now, the price of this is £299. This does include the camera, but it doesn't include the Move controllers, and this is at the UK retailer Game, which is very similar to GameStop here in the USA. It's kind of the UK equivalent of GameStop, and it's well known throughout the UK. Game, they have those stores everywhere. You can get this for £299, and it's a nice package because you're talking about 3 of the absolute best PlayStation VR games are included in this deal. So it's not a bad deal. Okay, and the last story that I want to get into before I bounce out of here real quick is Upload VR had a little story about the Talon Smart Ring controller. And so basically what this is coming from this company. Let me see if I can find their name. Titanium Falcon is the name of this company. No relation to the Millennium Falcon as far as I know, but the company's name is Titanium Falcon, and they have this little controller that they call the Talon Smart Ring controller, and it's basically a ring that you put on your index finger, and the ring has 9-axis motion control. So what you can do is, if you have you can use this with a lot of different Bluetooth devices. So like phones or possibly even VR headsets that have Bluetooth enabled capabilities. What you can do is you put this little ring on your finger and you can control menus and move things around and use it like a controller. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up as a story is because one of the biggest things that we're dealing with in VR, like one of the biggest long-term problems in VR is this idea of friction, okay? And when I talk about friction is you have an idea that pops into your head that you want to play a video game. And so the time from that idea popping in your head to you actually being in the experience, like how many minutes and seconds does it take for you to go from having that idea in your head to actually playing a game? And one of the biggest problems with VR is Gary talks about about this a lot on VR Roundtable, that you kind of have to suit up, that it's kind of going through a process, putting on the headset, putting on your headphones, getting your motion controllers, getting everything situated. It's kind of this setup process, and that process has a lot of friction associated with it. And I kind of think this idea is like, eventually, if we start having these headsets that are completely untethered, they have their own battery power, they have their own tracking, and then if you just had a little ring and you just popped it on your finger and you can do simple controls, obviously this wouldn't really work for like high-end VR gaming. But if you're just doing some simple experience where you just have to kind of move a cursor around and you're selecting this and you're selecting that, it wouldn't work out too bad. It's a very frictionless thing. And then also from the mass market standpoint, a lot of people aren't into the idea of using all these weird controllers and stuff. And so you get somebody that isn't a video gamer, you tell them, look, all you got to do is put this thing on your index finger, put this ring on your finger, and you can make easy controls, and it's super tiny. So like if you're taking the headset with you on an airplane, say you're bringing the headset with you on an airplane, you don't also have to bring all these controllers and everything else. You just have this little ring, and maybe they could have it could be magnetic or something, and it just connects to the headset itself, and you just pull the ring off, you put it on, and voila, there you go. So the Talon Smart Ring controller, a relatively interesting idea. Now, of course, the big problem with any of these things where it's not an actual controller is you don't have any of the force feedback, and that is a real downside. But I think it's a good idea that they continue to do some interesting stuff like that. Okay, guys, went way too far already. I still got to edit the audio and try to throw up some little video screens and stuff like that. But this episode is a throwaway show. I apologize. Tomorrow on Friday, I will have a legit episode. And once again, if you want to break into the video game industry, if you want to be a video game journalist, if you want to write for a video game website, if you're passionate about VR and you want to jump in, if you want to gain some experience, hit me up. info@vrgamerankings.com. We cannot let vrgamerankings.com die. It just would not make sense. But I still want to bang these shows out, and I really love doing this show. So I'm kind of, stuck between a rock and a hard place here. So hopefully somebody out there can help a brother out. That's all I'm basically saying with this. So anyway, that is going to wrap it up. It has been episode 109 for Thursday, March 1st, and I will see everybody tomorrow on Friday with a regular, normal episode. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Later.